Welcome back to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Today's episode, powered by Hayabusa, is about 5 unwritten rules you need to follow when you're sparring. In today's episode, we're going to talk about 5 unwritten sparring rules you need to follow. Now with gyms opening, COVID opening up, now it's a perfect time to start cross-training, get different bodies, practice with different skills with people that aren't used to your style. However, it's important that wherever you go, even within your own gym, and you're sparring somebody for the first time, you need to understand their skill level, what they can do, their power, their style, and you want to do it in a safe way, okay? So these 5 unwritten rules, okay? Especially when you go to a new gym or you're sparring someone new. But you still need to be careful. Someone like Diego and I have been sparring for over 5 years together, so we allow ourselves to do these different types of unwritten rules just to practice them, because a lot of them you want to do in the fight. However, it's just too dangerous to do in sparring, okay? This is why they're the unwritten rules of sparring. Okay, so the first one, I'm going to try to go in a systematic way so you can kind of see how we break it down. Now, the first one of the most dangerous strikes you can throw is the head kick, okay? So obviously, you want to control all big power shots to the head, but, okay, that's obvious, but the one in particular has got to be the head kicks, okay? Because of the big weight, the legs, the head, it's still too dangerous. So right away, if Diego starts throwing head kicks, you can see there's a difference of him throwing it controlled as we get better versus with a big power style, okay? You want to be careful from those big power shots coming to your head, okay? But again, like I said, eventually when you get good, you can see Diego can throw it with control. We know each other. But if this was our first time sparring, okay, you have to be able to control those head kicks, okay? I would even say don't throw them at all, especially if I'm sparring for the first time with someone. I'm not just going to whip the head kick right away. If I do, sometimes what it'll be is like I'll be so far away just to show them. I'll intentionally miss, you know, just to show them to be careful, okay? But it's got to have that much control, okay? Now, the second thing we're going to talk about of an unwritten rule is some form of spinning attack, okay? Now, a lot of us aren't good with spinning hook kicks, but Diego is. But when you start spinning, the amount of momentum, the speed, the power, that moment where you can't see me gets very dangerous, okay? Even with the spinning back fist, say Diego throws a boom, spinning back fist, it's dangerous, they can't see it. If they miss a kick, a lot of times the spinning back fist comes because they miss a technique and then they spin right after, okay? Like, for example, I might throw a left kick here and I miss, okay? I'm throwing that and I miss, so it's used as a way to be kind of tricky and try to kind of mess things up, right? So, be careful throwing all spinning attacks, whether it's a spinning back kick, spinning hook kick, or the spinning back fist, right? I wouldn't really throw that if I'm sparring someone for the first time. Someone starts throwing that at me, it just makes me realize, you know what, maybe they're not as technically sound, they're not as structured in their stance, and I'm just gonna keep more distance or stay extra tight because that's too wild of sparring. Okay, so the third one I'm going to talk about is the power knees, okay? Knees are heavy, they're dense, and there's no real padding on them. Some people even wear pads, but it still hurts. The pads at the end of the day is going to protect my knee, not really my opponent too much. So even when I'm here, I have to be careful. Say Diego is rushing in, I have to be careful throwing my straight knees and then walking into it. So usually in this case now, what I'll do is I'll make sure I get into the clinch and I just use my little pecking knees on the side. I'm not going to really drive my knees. Ribs are too fragile, so I want to be careful of those power knees to the body. And a lot of times what happens is you'll shell someone up and you want to drive these big power knees, and then that's how usually somebody gets hurt. And now when you talk about someone getting hurt in sparring or, you know, preparing for a fight, it tends to be knees to the body, hurting the ribs. That is a common injury, okay? Now, the fourth one I'm going to talk about is sweeps and dumps, okay? Now, I'll give you the perfect example. Diego came to my gym for the first time, and what does he decide to do in front of all of my entire class is sweep me, okay? So all of a sudden, boom, I fall to the ground. It makes a lot of big noise. Now I have to one-up Diego, and I had to sweep him and dump him a couple extra times on top of that just to show the dominance. But that could have been avoided if Diego followed this unwritten rule, okay? But now we know it's classier, but at this time he just didn't know the rules of our gym, and maybe in other places in Venezuela they were adding these types of techniques, but here we kept it really safe and we don't really do them so much, okay? You can practice them in a safe drilling training way, but you need to be careful. Whether you're coming in and you're just sweeping the leg too hard, or a lot of times people come with big different throws, you got to be careful, okay? So just at that point now, you're going to start kind of hurting knees, clipping legs. The biggest one I see a lot of is, say Diego throws a kick, okay? The last thing I want to see is people starting to sweep and dump and throw when they catch a kick. If you want, you can kind of show Diego here. I might show him a little trip and then play with him a little bit and just be playful, right? I don't have to actually dump him or sweep him to show them that I can do it, okay? Now, the fifth one I'm going to talk about, and I'm ending it last because it's weird to say, but this is a popular one, a newer one that we're having to add with the addition of calf kicks. Now, when it comes to the gym here, I don't care how hard you go to my quad, right? You can crack my quad as hard as you can, okay? But as soon as you start going to the calf, right, you have to be a little bit more careful, okay? Because even one lighter calf kick can start damaging my calf, which is good, right? It's a good tactic, but really now you're going to be hurting your partner. If you go too many times, then all of a sudden that partner can't train anymore. So I would say, land your calf kicks, work on them, but do it a little bit more, cautiously, just to make sure they don't hurt. So even sometimes, like just that little touching, sometimes I can touch on the same side, but you don't want to go too hard on the calf kicks, okay? It's going to damage your partner. And even with me, if I go too hard and Diego decides to just turn out, I'm hitting my instep on his foot or his knee, and that can hurt my foot a lot too, okay? So understand these unwritten rules. I gave you 5 today, from the head kicks to the spinning attacks, to hard knees, to sweeps and dumps, to not going too hard on the calf kicks, okay? All very important. They're unwritten rules because it's a respect. Martial arts about respect and discipline, okay? And at that point, if I'm going too wild, I'm losing control of myself and I'm not respecting my opponent, okay? So encompass that old school martial arts respect, keep the same intensity, be friendly, and that's how you learn. If you're sparring and then all of a sudden you can't train the next day or your training partner's out, that defeats the whole purpose of a team or cross-training in order to get better. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed today's episode. Make sure you keep liking, subscribing, and sharing to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. And make sure you support the channel by supporting our sponsors. First, we have Hayabusa by heading to Hayabusa Fight, all linked in the description below. And make sure you check out their T3 boxing gloves, especially with that double strap technology for the wrist. Makes you feel nice, strong, and confident, especially when you're hitting those power shots. Okay? Then we have Perfect Sports Nutrition, where if you use code Bazooka20, linked in the description, you can get 20% off your supplements. My daily, before these workouts here, I use it's called the Altered Straight pre-workout to get me focused and motivated and have the energy for today's videos. Also, I use my branch chains as well as my protein on a daily basis. That's Bazooka20, all linked below. But last but not least, we have bazookatraining.com. That's online curriculum taught by me, and you get brand new videos every Monday, which are put in categories. We have bag workouts, home workouts, tutorials, sparring drills, all for your different types of needs. And every Monday you get brand new videos, plus an archive library now of over 250 videos for you to kind of learn and study, all taught by me. Here's a little bit of examples of things from these videos, but if you want the meat and the potatoes, the main course, head over to bazookatraining.com for less than $10 a month. All right, we'll see you next time here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Welcome to Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA online training. I'm Bazooka Joe Valtellini, the owner here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA. Over the past year, I've designed and created a website to teach Bazooka curriculum at home and across the world. The purpose of this website is for you to, 1, hit your fitness and health goals, all while learning world-class martial arts instruction from me. The beautiful thing about this website, it's geared for all levels. So if you're learning martial arts for the first time as a beginner, we help you progress into the bigger stages. And if you're a pro fighter, guess what? We have different fight concepts for you to improve your tool set and your skills in the ring or cage. As the fastest rising kickboxing world champion and a lifelong martial artist with over 30 years of experience, I've been able to combine my passion for martial arts and teaching to create this website. This website's going to give you some of the tricks, secrets, and inside look at some of the training I use to win my world title. Once you subscribe to this site, you're going to be getting weekly training videos and tutorials that you can do from anywhere. The sections are broken up into 3 parts. The first is bag workout. So if you have a bag at home or at your gym, you can use these workouts to supplement your training. The second is at-home workouts. A lot of us don't have the room for a bag or a bag in general, so these workouts are for no equipment needed and you can do them anywhere. And finally, the tutorial section. If you're having any problems with a specific technique or fight concept that's covered in any of the workouts, go to the tutorial section, learn the technique, and then go back to the workout, and this time, do it with proper technique. One of the added benefits once you subscribe is the forums section, where you can get a more personalized experience where you can ask questions and I'll be able to go in there and answer them. It's all about building a team and a community of martial artists helping each other grow. So subscribe now to get access to all the videos plus more so you can be part of the squad here at Bazooka Kickboxing and MMA.